Drifting is a not so new sport in the international realm, but fairly new to the States. It's the art of sliding a car around, and basically you got your racing, you got your drag racing, those are all timed events. Well, drifting is not about time and all about style and technique and finesse. The object is basically to try to keep a drift going for the entire course. It's awesome. You pull up and you see from an 80 horsepower Corolla to a 500 horsepower Viper next to each other, sliding around, billowing smoke, and then just harnessing that and making it look so nice, and that's what draws a lot of people to it.
I'd have to say it's the most fun I've ever had in a car. I've been involved in professional motorsports ever since I was a kid, and this is by far the most fun and inexpensive way to enjoy some motorsports activities.
Well, it's been going on in Japan since the late 80s, where guys were doing what's called toge, or mountain driving. And these guys started pushing their limits, and pushing the limits required loss of traction.
You get in the car sideways, you're right on the edge, they crash possibly, and all that stuff, and it's just a huge adrenaline rush, especially when you put together, a real good run, and you're just sitting out there hanging sideways, smoking the tires, tearing it up.
It's like, all right, I'm going to hit this line better this time than I did the last. I know what I did wrong. I'm going to do it right this time. And plus, it's tire smoke and horsepower. I mean, what could be bad about that?
It's the thing everybody dreams about doing on the street, but you can't get away with it. And here, it just feels like you're getting away with something the whole time you're out there. And it's awesome. It's all about car control and just having a ball.
You don't have any room for error. When you don't have room for error, that's when you learn. But you better learn good, or you're going to be spending a lot of money.
The kind of drifting techniques really depend on the course you're at. When you're on a more open course, you can definitely have a lot more leeway. When you're on a tight course like this, you really have to have your own preference and style. A feint drift is where you make an opposite turn. So if you're coming into like a left-hand corner, instead of going straight left, you want to make a sharp right and then a sharp left, and then come around a little bit and start counter-steering. Manji drifting is what you do when you're on a straightaway. It's basically the same thing a feint is, except you're shifting weight on a straightaway from side to side and going back and forth.
You got to start wide, bring the car to the center of the apex of the turn, and then slide the car back out and set up for your next slide. Laying on the brakes, locking up a front inside tire, downshifting the first all-well sideways, it's like the most rewarding feeling.
And what looks like you're out of control, but it's really the edge of control.
Even if you're up against somebody, you're always racing against yourself, because I can do better than I did last time.
You got to learn to drive the car. That's what it is. It's 95% car, 4% driver, and 1% power. This year has been a real good year for drifting as far as getting it into the public eye. I hope that brings it to people taking it off the streets and keeping it on a track like this course, which is a half-mile track that we basically, it's all it's for is drifting.
I see the sport getting huge because of the movies and stuff. I put it in the mainstream, and Formula D now has the major manufacturers into it, Pontiac and GM, Ford, Dodge. I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
I think it's catching on. I think it's going to go somewhere. Because like I said, it's an expensive way to come out and have some fun. I think people just need to become aware of it and come out and check it out. Maybe do a ride along and see what it's all about. Because you take any car you want out here and drift. A few modifications and you're there.
Everybody has their dreams, but it's still a hobby at this point. I'm not getting paid.
It's always going to be a hobby, whether you're in the professional world or not. I hope drifting's around for a long time. All you have to do is slide around.